Speaking of this 4-car garage, I was talking to the general contractor initially, and I was saying, how come, you know, lots of times nowadays when they build homes, I've seen a lot of homes where they have single-car garages. Years ago, you wouldn't really have. If you had a 4-car garage, you might have 2 double doors for one garage with a two garage door, roll-up door, as well as another one, or maybe at least one 2-car garage, roll-up door, one single, and then one big one for that over there. But nowadays, lots of times they go with the single ones. And I was talking to the general contractor, and I said, well, I really don't like the single ones unless somebody thinks about it when they're building it and makes a single car garage a little bit bigger. And I said, I asked him, I said, are you making these overage on the overall size? And he said, yeah. He said, he gave me a measurement. I forget what he said on what the actual standard garage door width is for a single car, but he said he made it 2 feet over, and you can order your doors a little bit bigger, so that this is 2 feet bigger than a regular single car garage. That way it's easier to get a car in. Plus, if you do the singles and if you have a gap in between them, kind of like this, okay, when you drive this car in here and when you drive this car in here, you got plenty of room in between the cars, so you're not going to bash into one car door when you open up the other one. You know what I mean, with the regular 2-car garage. And then you can make your garage a little bit wider too. Obviously, this is way wider right here than a 2-car roll-up garage door, let's say. You see? And so you might want to think about that if you're building a new house, to go with the single-car garage doors and just make them oversized. And that's what they're going to do here. And I found it interesting with these are smaller glulam beams. See that big huge glulam beam up there? I talked about that on the previous clip. These are smaller glulam beams, and they could have ran a 6x12 if they wanted beam, but they decided to do with the glulam beam. And they also have other kind of beams too that you can use nowadays. Well, they decided to run this longer. See that? And see this section of beam from here to there, you really don't need that per se on both sides. They did that on both sides. Why do you suppose they did that? My guess is that it's giving them more stability, more strength, because this is longer and you don't have a fulcrum point right here at this end. You've got a longer beam that's spanning there, and then where your opening is, you've got 3 2x6s nailed together, boom, boom, boom. And that goes up there, but this overall makes it stronger, is my reasoning. I'm thinking, and see how much longer this one is. This goes from here all the way over to there. And my guess is, because these walls are kind of small, it gives the overall structure of the wall a stronger capability in high winds and possible earthquakes and stuff. You've got all these extra straps here so that you don't just have your beam ending right there. You've got it all the way over. It goes to the outside corner there. It goes to the outside corner there. Do you see what I mean? And here this goes to this inside corner of the wall, to the inside corner of that wall. And it gives you a little bit more strength. I actually kind of like that. See, they did the same thing with this one. You see there? All the way over. And the builder didn't decide that on his own. It's probably on the plan somewhere, and that's why they did it. Okay. And here's another thing: if you're going to build your house and you already got your plans drawn, they've already been approved by the building department, when you go out to the job site, you're not going to start changing things on your own, saying, I'm not going to put the beam all the way across there. I'm going to save some money. I'm going to stop the beam right there, from there to there. And you start doing other different things. You call for a framing inspection, and Mr. Inspector, he doesn't pass you. And he may not pass you because you didn't build it according to the plans. And then you may have to tear it all out, or you'd have to take your plans back to your engineer, and the engineer, the structural engineer for the plans, who drew up the plans, may have to talk to the guy who designed your house plans, and then they might have to come up with, okay, since they didn't run it all the way, are we going to make them tear it down and run the beams all the way across, or is there some other thing that we can do to appease the building inspectors and the planning department and all that kind of stuff? So see, don't ever start second guessing. Don't second guess on, oh yeah, I used kind of straps like this last time I had another job, but I couldn't get the thick ones and the wider ones, so I got some that are about a 1/2 inch less than this, and not as tall as this, and not as many nails as this, and I'm going to put those in instead. Well, the inspector's not going to pass that. Same thing with your straps here, like this. See, so you have to go by what the plans say. See here, look how big these puppies are, and they all come, and there's and every Simpson tie will have a name on it, a number on it, and all that. And you see, those bolts are way down in there. They had to do something, and they probably had to crawl underneath the house and put those on, because they probably should have extended those up further, right? And there's one down in there. They're going to have to fish those up and put a threaded rod up there before they can anchor those and all that. So, you know, look at stuff like that. Think about your project. See how they had to add that on that one there. See, like that. That's a smaller strap to begin with. And see here, these are way down there. There's existing ones in there that were installed prior to them building this. And I don't know where that one is. Like, it could be, maybe there's not one there at all. But in any case, do things as per the plans is what I'm trying to tell you here. Okay. Well, it's getting kind of dark. I thought I'd make a quick last little bit of video. They were here today, of course. Of course, they were here today, and they've started building on the garage. I made another video clip of that earlier. You might want to see that on my channel. And they didn't do much on the interior yet. They've been doing a lot of work out in the garage area. I can see they still got a few walls to build. It kind of puzzles me why they did that. They must have done stuff like that, figuring we'll build the perimeter walls like right in here towards the end. That way, if we need to get more 2x4s, we can stack our 2x4s out here. We can throw them in easier through this area, or something. I have no idea, because usually when I've seen houses being built, they build all the perimeter walls, and it seems like they build all the perimeter walls first, and then they go in and start building the interior walls. You know, here they did a little back and forth kind of business, and they still got a few perimeter walls done here. So, you know, hey, rhyme or reason, it doesn't really matter one way or another, as long as they get the job done, right? Now, see, on that last little bit over there, I was saying they should have put some sort of a gusset saddle, and this is what I was talking about. Something kind of like that. And I'm not quite sure why they didn't install something like that over there first before they installed the actual post. You see this here, they would have had to install the post first and then put this down there, run this sideways, and then put their beam up there. But this must be for another place in here when they get ready to install some other beams up here. They're not, like I said, they're not done yet. It's a work in progress, and maybe that's coming. Maybe that's why they didn't build these outside walls yet, because they might still have a few beams that go up in here. You know, I have no idea. Okay, so anyways, it's fun going out on a job site, taking a look at things, and I'm glad you came along for the ride. And I'm always going to be making stuff. Look at that post. Look at this threaded rod, and then they have this, and it's all been bolted up in here. It doesn't seem like this would give it as much strength as if this was down lower, down to the bottom, but they've got it all screwed in there. And here's somebody's T-square that they left on the job site. I've never really used one of those, but lots of guys swear by them. You can do all kinds of stuff with that. He just happened to forget it. Here, see, here's some more. They've got that one. He's got that one in there, and I'll make a different video. But see, they've got those straps all along here, everywhere where they have those bolts. Everywhere where they have those bolts, they've got to put one of those straps. And can you see that all those straps? I know it's getting dark here. I'm having a hard time showing these, but all of these straps help hold the walls down, and they've done it as per the drawing. And the guy who drew the plans, he didn't just make that up. He's got to follow the codes to whatever the building department requires, whatever the county or city is. They'll know all of the different codes, and if they don't, when they submit their plans on the first plan check, they'll get written up, and then you'll have to do some revisions, plan corrections, and all that kind of stuff, and then put everything on there that the inspector wants during plan check. Okay, all right, enough of that for now. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. And as I said, it's getting dark, and it's time for me to go.